Yes, people, you know what it is. It's never a foul. It's time to go. It's time to like the video. And of course, I'm joined by my panelist, Mr. Mo, all the way in the south of France today in Saint-Tropez. And we've got Mr. Roms up in his own building. And then Ossie Goon is going to be well, probably in the next 5 minutes, I'd say. And he can talk on the Arsenal stuff. I quite liked the chemistry yesterday between Guna and Roms. So I thought, get them again. Why not add fuel to the fire with Mo? But what are you lot saying anyways?
Good, man. Good.
I'm all right. Holiday.
One sec, Mo, because I'll wait for it. You want to try that again, Roms?
Bro, I'm fantastic. Happy to be back. Thanks for inviting me, man.
You're not happy that Mason Mount got number 7. He's gonna do bits.
I think it's
happier than.
Anyway,
you should be happier than this, you know.
Mo, do you mind explaining to people where in the world you are? As I just said it.
I am in Saint-Tropez, south of France. Just near there, like 10 minutes by car, just enjoying the beach. I'm in a beach town. My view is kind of mad. I posted it on Twitter the other day. So, and in 2 weeks, probably I'll be with the guys in the studio. And
there you go. He's living it large with David Ginola. That's where he is as well. If people know David Ginola, then you're old enough to know what football truly is. But yeah, man, loads of news today. Transfer news. Obviously, it's taken about 2 minutes to get to where it is. Most of you already know. Just here to give us our opinions. Declan Rice, Jurian Timber. Very good deal, by the way. The price is very good, 38 million. I'm going to talk about that. We can talk about Man United. Onana's bid, which has been rejected of, if I'm correct, a total package of 40 million euros, I believe Man United offered into what, 50 million. I don't know. They originally it was base fee, now it's packaged. So Man United are doing some negotiations. I'm sure Mo won't be happy with that. Mason Mount, new number 7. Outrage from people about the iconic number. Does it deserve flair? Deserves creativity? I think it's all rubbish. I don't really actually care too much. But it is heritage at the end of the day, so I can see why Man United fans would care. And the last part is Liverpool as well. They need to sell a midfielder before they get a midfielder, as I was predicting. And I know it's from James Pearson. Some people don't want to look towards it, but if you use your common sense, you got loads and loads of people under the ranks. It only makes sense. Otherwise, you've got the same situations of a bloated squad, bloated wages, and you might not even move on that sort of said player. So who knows who that's going to be? We all spoke about it yesterday as well, but we go a little bit more into it. Lavia, because Arsenal are stepping up their interest now that everything is done. So watch this space. If there's any other news, I'm pretty sure there's other news as well. Man City looking to sign another midfielder after Kovacic. So that's very true. But other than that, other than that, guys, if you're here, there is 305 people here. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps the video. You know what it is. We'll explain it a little bit later because we just want to get into some football news. AC Milan bidding as well for Pulisic around the 20 million mark, which is good fee for Chelsea. But yeah, man, let's talk about what's on the agenda at the moment. I'm going to wait for the Arsenal talk because Ossie Guna, I'm going to wait for him respectfully. Let's talk about this Mason Mount number 7 deal.
For me, guys, I know.
Let me start with something. I thought that Garnacho was going to take number 7. Did they take it away from him?
No, because
was there news? Was there like really confirmation that he was going to take number 7? They gave him a new contract, and then comes Mason Mount, number 1. How does the kid feel? That's what I want to know, because everybody was talking about this kid, mad potential for him. Had a great start like last year. This is the beginning of his professional career in the first team. And now you come in Mason Mount, and then just like that, after all the hard work that Garnacho did last year, you're giving it to Mason Mount, who left Chelsea, didn't have a great season. I think Man United fans have every right to be upset. And anybody that says he deserves that, why does he deserve number 7?
Wait.
CR7 when he started, he didn't.
let me ask you this question. Why does a guy that's had, you could say limited starts, lots of appearance off the bench deserve number 7?
I'll tell you why. For one reason,
Through
he's a Man
injury,
United fan. So a kid, number one, a kid.
Why does a
Looks
kid
like
number 7?
I'll tell you, because he grew up at Man United, plays
No,
his
he
heart
didn't.
out every
No,
time
no,
he
he
steps
didn't.
on the pitch.
No, one sec. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He came from Atletico Madrid, if I'm correct.
So how many years has been there?
I know what Mo means, though. He's been there for a few years.
Been
He
there
made
for a
a
few
name in your
years.
academy.
I don't actually look. I'm not really. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Yeah, this is crazy, Mason Mount." I don't actually care. So
No, Kaz, let me tell you why you should. Let me tell you why you should, in my opinion. Yeah,
Right.
your iconic number 7, just from the top of the head. Beckham, Cantona, Ronaldo, and whatnot. He's now been given that shirt. You might just feel, well, it's just a bit of print on the back of a shirt, but he's already had pressure playing for United anyway. That's standard. For me, this adds a whole nother pile of pressure because he's wearing that number 7 now, and fans are literally after every bad game, they're just going to liken it to the rest. Why is he giving his shirt when we've had legends wear the shirt? For me, it's just added pressure that he did not need, in my opinion. And like Mo said, he's not done anything to warrant.
Roms, can I cut you off? Can I cut you off and say, do you think playing for Man United at this stage is more pressure than playing for Chelsea?
Yes, because I think United are a big club, and I think they're on the upward trajectory. They want to get back to where they want to be, especially with the potential takeover of the Qataris. He has to come in and hit the ground running. He has to. So I think.
Okay.
Right,
Can I follow up? Can I follow up?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think at Chelsea he was the star guy on that club? But at Man United, he is going to be one of the guys: Casemiro, Lisandro, Anthony, Rashford, Bruno. There's a lot of people to divide that pressure on. While at Chelsea, I thought that it was always looked at Mason Mount as he is Chelsea man. He is, you know what I mean? Chelsea means Mason Mount over the past like 3 or 4 years. Do you think that make a difference for him?
I hear where you're coming from. I do hear where you're coming from, because United, he's just going to be another player around the other good players. And Chelsea, he was Mr. Chelsea. But I would say there was other players, though. You could say Reece James as well. They look at me, Mr. Chelsea. Probably is them too, where he's proper Chelsea. But I still think United has more pressure. I do see your logic. I do. But I still think playing for United, he's going to have more pressure. 100%. Yeah, and I think that was a mistake giving him the shirt.
That's what you call proper UTD. That's what you call that. Proper Chelsea, proper UTD. Anyways.
Proper United.
Proper MUFC. Or proper United. But what's it called? No, I disagree, because I'm tired of passengers in this team now. So Sancho, you'd think Sancho might have taken number 7. Tells me where his head's at. I don't care then. Say it's number 25. If you look at the previous number 7s, Di Maria, Falcao, Cavani, probably players of caliber that deserves to wear the shirt, the caliber, but guess what? It all failed. Valencia, he went from number 7, they went straight back to number 25, if I'm correct, as well. He couldn't handle the pressure. Now, if a guy is a midfielder and he comes in, you don't need numbers, you just need performances, right? So the way I look at it is like, if you've got the cojones to go and do the job when it's required, then we all talk about mentality. Is this not someone that's taking, the pie as well. Is this, or Memphis, if you want to call him that, is this not exactly what you want at your team? Someone that's going to take you by the scruff of the neck, say, I'm going to be successful here, Someone that's going to allow that pressure. I would like to think Mason Mount can handle bits of pressure, especially with how chaotic it is at Chelsea with, the amount that goes on, even through the season that he's had through the fans,
I love this thinking, Cass. I love this thinking. It's a
the way I
think.
If you want to change an element, it was Ten Hag that offered it to him, and he didn't ask for it. That's the difference.
I love it. I love this thinking from Man United. It's not negative. It's positive. Looking at all the positive, and instead of just whining and crying like everybody. I love that. And I think there's one more thing about number 7. Now I know that being given number 7 means you are actually being considered as a starter. Of course, he has to work for it. Nothing is guaranteed under Ten Hag, but it means Mason Mount is going to be one of the essentials at this Man United. Listen, I want to just say something about this thing. Crying is done. Whining is done. He's a Man United player now. It's over. I don't want Mason Mount. He's Man United. Now it's all about the pressure, to be honest. It's all about the pressure now and performing under Man United shirt, leaving your heart out on the pitch. This is it. This is number 7 at Cass. It's a big number for Man United, but I like the positive thinking. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's just, I know there's pressure, but you only have it's only pressure if you allow it to be. For me, it's just another number. Whether you're 10, 7, 11.
He's going with the same numbers there. He's going with that legendary 7.
Daps, I think you need to be working.
Number 7.
Yeah.
He's working 7 hours.
Anyways, all I'm gonna be saying is
7.
I'm gonna
What was the score last season? Canterbury Stage at Anfield.
Double M7. Double M7. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Every time he scores against one of your clubs, it's double M7. He's trying to do a job on your club.
And by the way, for the people in the comments, for Sabota, I've been saying he's got pressure on him. So I'm not picking and choosing. I've said Sabota has got massive pressure as well. Because you saw what happened with Naby Keita at the 8.
Could be worse. You can get smashed 8-2 by Middlesbrough.
Is it an
Yeah. Arsenal fans know about 8-2 as well, but so is Man City fans. But yeah, it's not an iconic signing. No, of course it's not. But I don't actually care if it's not. We're not going to be making iconic signings this season. So I don't know.
So you
again,
don't think your Mason Mount is a marquee signing for you?
All right, one sec. Out of all the players that Man United are going to be linked with, number 7 is typically linked with either a striker, which isn't really the case. It's more time a winger. What big boy winger is Man United going to buy that's going to be like number 7? By the way, Anthony's taking number 11, by the way, so that's being shifted.
Do you know what it's iconic?
Go on.
Getting over 400 likes.
Yeah, as you probably can hear him in the background. He just wants to be involved, guys. Don't worry.
Mason Mount, the starting left winger for Man United next season. You heard it here first from Mo on Never a Foul. It's here.
Left winger?
Starting winger.
No,
Left
you're
winger.
taking him. Now you get me mad. Now you get me mad. Don't get
I
me mad.
am.
Don't get me mad. Anyway,
For a minute, you're trolling. For a minute, I thought you'd be serious.
I'm not.
So I just look at along the lines. Man United's not going to make a big boy signing this summer, anyways, and they're probably not. And it's probably going to have to wait till next summer. So things will be shifted. You're only going to get a striker that can in an attacking play that would take a number like number 7. But I just don't see it. Not anyone that's good enough to take a number 7, anyways. So I don't get the big idea, man. We got double M7, man. He's coming to, do some MI6 in all your clubs or MI5, wherever it is. But yeah,
That's
man.
Get behind him. Get behind him.
You got to. You got to build it. You got to build it. Mason, Mount. You know what I mean?
Let's sing the song.
The thing about it that I'm hearing in Cass is the Cass's voice. You hear like, he's past like looking at this as a bad signing. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to live with this pain until this guy proves us all wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about whining and crying out. It's like, hey, here comes the pain. It's every game until he proves him wrong.
Yeah. You can hear it in his voice. He doesn't mean what he's saying. He's just saying it.
Bro, listen. There are people that cover the butts and say, oh, he's gonna perform well for Man United. I'm sure he's gonna perform well and all this stuff. Like these people just cover the. If he doesn't, whatever.
I'm just gonna.
Who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
I'm just gonna say this. He's got 6 months to prove to me that he deserves that shirt. Otherwise, my agenda is shifting harsh. 6 months, not 18. 6. I need to see something.
So Cass, just about like Mason Mount. You think that it's Mason Mount is the one who has to prove that he deserves a shirt. It's not the other way around. It's not, because I think Mason Mount always looked at himself as a star. He looked at himself as a starter for the England team. Is it him coming to Man United to perform and Man United need him, or he's going to think that I need to prove myself? I need to earn the trust. Is it, what way are you looking at this?
You know what?
He needs to earn the trust of the fans. Any player that signs for Man United, no matter who it is, needs to earn the trust of the fans. Football's fickle. Like fans are fickle, man. That's all you can say towards it. It's so easy to switch on anybody. No matter how class they are, you will switch on them in given time. I guarantee if Havertz doesn't perform like swiftly, the Arsenal fans are going to be turning on this guy like no tomorrow, especially the Twitter ones anyways. And it gets harsh from there.
They're already turning on him before he's even kicked the ball.
Yeah, so
majority of them.
I just don't know, man. Look, we don't know how he's going to play. We don't know how he's going to set up more or less, or like we do know how he's going to set up more time. It's just how he's going to play. I think we've been over it too many times to even get into the conversation about it. It just depends who comes in and around him. See, if you go get me and Amrabat right after Fred gets sold, which is the rumors, by the way, which makes sense. You shift off Fred for 20, go get Amrabat for 25, 30. Then I'm looking at that thinking, you know what? That's good depth. I look at his depth. Eriksen gets a rest. You know, Mason Mount can fill in at times. Amrabat's wicked anyways. And then we'll just go from there. And the next season is probably where Man United look at a proper centre mid, maybe. But this is all wishful thinking at the end of the day. But yeah, what was you going to ask?
No, I was just going to add on to Mo's point as well. Like, I definitely think Mason Mount sees himself as a star, and some people think this might not be a big reason for it as well. But you need to understand, he's been winning from youth days. He's won the UEFA Youth Leagues. He's won at Chelsea. He's won stuff in the first team. He is just used to winning. So he's coming to United that, yeah, I'm at a big club, but I'm a big star. That's what he thinks of himself. And I think as a footballer, you have to have that confidence. Imagine if he came in all timid that, I'm just happy to be here. I'm not really relishing the opportunity. So I think I think Mount does see himself as that guy, and hopefully he doesn't prove it. But yeah.
I saw something yesterday saying, so Man United replaced Jesse Lingard with a Mason Mount because they're exactly the same person. And I said, nah. I looked at it, I was like, and then they posted a video of him doing that thing with that Amelia, the chicken shop woman. And I'm thinking, this guy's actually a clown, isn't it? Like, and this is at the time. Right? This is the time when they didn't win. Like they were going on like a 12. They haven't won games in 17 games or something like that. I'm like, have we just signed a Jesse Lingard?
I'm dead.
No, man. No. Don't say that, bro. No.
Why? But when you think about it, they play the same. They're the same player.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah, one sec. Mason Mount could be used as a shadow striker, right? Which I think he is. He goes into space. Hear me out. Jesse Lingard and Mason Mount, they like to invade space here when it's free. They're both very energetic. You could say they're the same build. You could say they probably got the same pace. What's the difference? A half turn? Because Jesse Lingard's got a half turn on him before he snaps his own ankle.
No, but Mason Mount,
probably just age.
His biggest thing is finding spaces between the lines. That wasn't
Lingard
wasn't great at that.
Yes, he was. He was very
good. Actually was, man. He actually was.
Don't say that. Man United fans in the chat are like just now panicking now. Everybody's panicking. Everybody's running around taking off their shirts, and they're like panicking now. It's like what?
Yeah, but you think I'm going to sit here and just start doing?
No, don't do that. Because they trust you.
I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, sorry for repeating myself for the fourth time, and give him so major prop after being annoyed with this, and not give it a comparison. You have to agree with it whether you like it or not, man.
I'm just visualizing it already. Mount he receives it in the tight area on the half term, and he just smashes it wide. I can see him doing that at least 2-3 times a game.
Manager's dream, they call it. Hit 44 is Mays told Garnacho, "Run me the 7 shirt, boy." And he says as well, is McAllister better than Mount, or is it hype? Different type of players, really.
That's what I was going to say. They're different profile, man.
Yeah, different profile. But if you ask me, I don't know. It depends what you want. One's a controller and he's a bit lazy, and then the other one's a hard worker, but he's not really excelling that much. You get it? So yeah.
But how did that start? That Chelsea Twitter guy.
Let me spin this question. Let me spin the question. Let me spin the question a little bit. If McAllister didn't win the World Cup, would we have sat here and said McAllister at the same level at Mason Mount at all? Why I'm saying if, because international football is different. He played with Messi 7 games.
Good point.
If McAllister didn't win the World Cup, would we be sitting here and talking about a comparison? Because let's just say it straight. World Cup, 7 games. Messi is the one who carried that team. Yes, they worked around him. Yes, he worked so hard in that midfield, but it was Messi. So if the World Cup didn't happen this year, I don't think there would be a comparison between both. Yes, he had a good season for Brighton, McAllister. Yes, under the Zerbi, great work and everything. But I think Mason Mount has been more established in the Premier League, in the international football as well. That's what I think.
I agree with you. I think the case studies is better for Mount because we've seen more of him, like you said, more established. We've seen him have several good seasons where if McAllister hadn't won the World Cup, it literally would have been this sole season. And if we're being completely honest, I love McAllister. I'm happy we signed him. But after the World Cup, if you look at his form before the World Cup and after the World Cup, it kind of dropped. It drops slightly. So I agree with you, Mo. I do think the World Cup does give him a bit more clout and to hold his own in that
I
Argentinian
disagree
team.
with you. I actually disagree with you.
You said it 5
Oh,
Am
times.
I
you cut
lagging
out.
though?
You're lagging. Yeah, you've got a bit of lag, dude. Because
man.
what I'm trying to say is, do we have in McAllister another James? You know what I mean? Is it that vibe? You know, a good World Cup and a drop, you know, just the hype off the World Cup, you know, a little bit of good form, gets into a big team and then fails to solidify a position. And I think you think that Jurgen Klopp, I think that Jurgen would be looking at it a bit different, a little bit, because I mean, with FSG and Liverpool and the way they spend any sort of coin they spend, it has to be spent well. And I don't think they're in a position now to burn money. But at the same time, the price that they got McAllister for, that's the bargain in it all. That is, it's not a massive gamble. And it does add to your midfield. So regardless, I mean, you guys have got him as your key playmaker. Let's just say you're 10. Even if it doesn't go to plan, you didn't spend 80 or 65 million like we did on a gamble. Do you get what I'm saying? It was sort of a calculated move, and you got the price right down there. It's more of a Trossard move, almost a Trossard move. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I think as the Liverpool supporters now, they could look at McAllister and say, we're safe. If you think about it, it's not massive money.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been saying as well, even in the modern day market, for me, right now, 60 million is not that much as well.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, guys, there's 650 of you in here. You know where the like button is. I know you guys have washed your feet today, so I know you know where the like button is. So there's no smells getting up into your head, gassing you, thinking, I don't know where it is. My eyes are blind. You know where it is. So if you don't mind doing it, anyone that has done so, big up. I don't know how many of you have done it so far. 170 of you. I know you can get this to 250.
Cass, I'm interested in Mo's point now. I'm on Mama Callis' point. How come you disagree with it?
Say again, sorry?
If you can hear it now better, I think his form is very consistent. Like what I mean is very consistent. He doesn't have that ups and down. McAllister is never he was never the superstar, you know, like not the Enciso style, not the Trossard style, you know, like doesn't have he's a very consistent player, gives you a 7 out of 10 every game, very consistent. And you said that his form dropped.
Not a lot, but the slide
exactly. But when you say that a slight drop, it changes with who plays. Like Gilmore when he started, and what's his name moved to the right side. Caicedo moved to the right side. Kind of changed that midfield, put more pressure on McAllister to actually carry that midfield. While Caicedo was helping him in the beginning of the season. You see what I'm saying?
And you know why you're spot. You know why you're spot on his well.
I don't disagree. Let me just. I don't disagree with. I think he's been okay, but I think the World Cup took it to a different level for him. In terms of how people see him. You know what I mean?
That means you can handle big
that World Cup.
World Cup
exactly. People think that. I agree with you, Cass.
And you know, even domestically, he played well against United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Like he did have good games within the Premier League as well. So
I actually never thought that McAllister had a bad game.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not allowing no McAllister. I know he plays for Liverpool, but I'm too much of a fan of the guy to give him any sort of.
Someone made a good point.
I actually didn't say that. I just think that the difference, like the people that are talking about, that there is a massive difference between McAllister and Mount is mad to me. It's like, why do we think that they're two different players, but people say that the McAllister is a superstar and Mount is just an okay player? I don't think Mount is that. I think both of them are the same level. 7 out of 10. I'll give that.
The only concerns I have over McAllister, right, is his pressing game. If you're looking for Brighton and also Argentina, he's not a guy to really do loads of pressing. More like being smart in your position and maybe cutting off passing lanes. He's not going to be the guy that's going to run up in your face for 90 minutes. You know, that's not his game.
Someone made a good point.
I didn't say that Mount is better than McAllister. I think that both of them are give you 7 out of 10. Is that they're not a 9. You're not signing Vinicius Jr. You aren't. Exactly. You know what I mean? You're signing a 7 out of 10 player. Mount had a bad season, but he had good seasons before.
McAllister needs to do more. He needs to be a little bit more risky with his passes.
Someone made a good point though. If we could have got. We were originally in for Mount before McAllister. If we could have got Mount at a cheaper price, McAllister probably wouldn't be a Liverpool player right now, if we're being honest. So
Oh, you might as well. Let's spin it before I spin it back to Man United. Let's spin it with Liverpool. Then you need, according to James Pearson, a lot of you don't rate him, but I think it's just I think it's just common sense. You need to sell before you buy Lavia, right? You got two midfielders in and around.
I'm jotting it down, Kaz. Yeah, these are the 10 midfielders we currently have in our Premier League squad. 2 of them won't be in most squads, but you've got Bajcetic, you've got Fabinho, you've got Thiago, got Henderson, got Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Bobby Clark, which won't be in most matchday squads, McAllister, Tyler Morton, and Szoboszlai. There are 10 midfielders right now. So
8. Let's say 8. You say 8.
Yeah, 8. Because Bobby Clark and Tyler Morton won't be a matchday squad. So 8. We'll say 8.
Yeah.
So 8. I think that's too much. That's too much.
But this is what I was saying to Kaz yesterday. With Europa League and how we're going to rotate, we're going to have a whole different 11. Is it too much?
Yeah,
it's not like the Champions League.
You're going to have three coming in for 3, and then still 2 that don't get minutes. How is that okay?
Yeah, I can imagine the 7. The 7's like more reserved.
Yeah. But then,
I would say the 7's on the reserves. Like
I understand what you're saying, Mo. But with the way we play and the massive injuries we pick up, I would want 8 because I know it's sad to say, but with the way we play and we press, we get injuries more often than other clubs, especially in that midfield area. This is where we suffered. So I'm happy with 8. I understand what you're saying. 2 other players, they might be upset, but this is the problem with this though. If we get no injuries miraculously, like our title-winning season when everything was kind of going for us, the 2 other players are going to be annoyed. Understandably, you want to play football. But right now, me personally...
Can I ask you, Rams, can I ask you something? Jurgen Klopp, does he normally rotate his starting 11?
No.
That's something you would know more than me. He doesn't. He has his pressing game, and it's working for him. He does not rotate. The players, maybe Thursday will be different, but his starting 11 for the Premier League would normally something that you would pick. You even would pick 2 days before. You know them before. So I think, yes, you would have options off the bench, but you already have 6 forwards or 5 forwards, 8 midfielders. I think that's too much. I think you would need to sell Thiago. And I know that I'm a big fan of Thiago, but missing 20-plus game a season isn't worth it. I think he needs to be sold. Because the problem with Thiago is that when he's fit, he's your best guy.
Monster's going to spawn in a minute. Watch, because you said that.
But hold on. Let me explain the reason why. Now you have Szoboszlai. Now you have McAllister. These guys are good. They are good, established players. Thiago, when he's fit, he's a starter. You cannot shift him. And the problem is, now you play 2-3 games, and now Thiago comes in the picture. He starts over somebody, you disrupt the rhythm. Now he gets injured again, misses 3-4 games, you're disrupting the rhythm. I think coaches normally would rather have a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 for majority of the game rather than have someone who plays a 9 out of 10 or give you a 10 out of 10 for 2 games and then get injured. I think coaches, they want to know what to expect from the player, what to expect from the squad. Thiago doesn't offer this because of his injuries.
And he's sitting on the money as well.
Do you know the problem with this?
Familiarity. It's to be familiar. It's for the players to become familiar with each other's movements, their passing, and yada. My question was, if you guys want Lavia and you have to sell before you buy, it makes sense.
Makes sense.
How do you fund it? How do you fund this? If you want to keep your 8 midfielders, how do you fund it? Who goes?
Thiago.
Apart from
for me, it would have to, at the moment, Thiago's
more. It have to be more than that.
No, because they've got the money to spend it. Roms, correct me, sorry. Liverpool have the money to spend on Lavia, but it would just be a bonus.
£50 million.
Yeah, but 50 million, that means you just spent it 35 million only.
And at the moment, Feyenoord are quoting Nat Phillips at 15 to 20 million, which might go through. If Thiago goes, that's already what we're looking at, just between 30 and 40. Then we've already got money to buy Lavia. I think them 2 could potentially fund that deal. That's the way. Obviously, that's the way we work. But
can you explain it again, Roms, please? Can you say that? How much is Thiago in this current market?
30 to 40 with the injuries. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Not 30 to 40 solely for Thiago, combined with Nat Phillips, with that sale and Thiago's sale together. Not solely on.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, Nat Phillips will be there.
You think for Nat Phillips and Thiago £40 million? You think that?
No. I would say between about 10 to
Chelsea. Who do you think you are, Chelsea?
No, but look, Chelsea.
What is happening here?
Let's say 15. Feyenoord right now is quoting Nat Phillips at 50 million. If that goes through, a Saudi club also bidded Thiago for 15. 15 plus 15 is 30 million. It will be between that 30 to 40
I think
million region.
You're right. No, he's right. He's definitely right. They can definitely make up 40 million, but that would be just there to fund an extra centre mid or DM, shall I say, and an extra centre back, preferably left footed. So that's the way I look at it. He's on 230k. So if you take off that wage, Lavia coming in, he's not going to be on big boy wages, is he?
Yeah, we'll probably offer Lavia max 80, 90.
Yeah,
if
80
that.
Yeah. And then when you think about even a centre back choice, the centre back that's going to come in as well, Nat Phillips ain't on massive amounts of money, but that Thiago money will cover both of them wages. Whoever you get, you're not going to go for a high profile left footed defender, anyways, right? 100%. And that's what's on chump change over there in Sporting Lisbon. I actually think you'll go and get him in the end. I'm surprised you didn't go for someone like he went to Roma in the end. He was a free agent, Ndika. I thought you'd go for someone like him.
We were talking to him. I think Klopp in the end just didn't favour him because he wanted the move. He did want the move. We were speaking to him from about January, and then we pulled out of that deal.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Liverpool.
And like I said, the reason why I think we'll get Lavia even without sales at first is because remember what we were saying yesterday, Kaz, he fits the homegrown quota because he's been at City for 2 years and Southampton for that extra year. And I think he's under a certain age. I think he will fit the homegrown quota. So I think that should be done. The only way it doesn't get done, like I said yesterday, is if Arsenal coming through because I personally think he will go there.
So glad
that's
you said
my
that.
opinion.
Now we can shift on to the main news of the day, anyways. With Arsenal, but if we're going to keep on this Lavia stuff, Lavia has a lot of agents that shared with Arsenal players. I can't remember who it was exactly.
Saka's one of them. Him and
Saka's
Saka,
and there's another one as well, and they have good relationships. And while you're taking your time, by the time you have to shift someone, they've just completed 2 signings, and there's the here we goes. And this is probably where Ossie Goon is going to come in and get chuffed. Declan Rice, and for 105 million, I'm going to call it 100 million because 5 million are just add-ons. It's not guaranteed. And the other one is...
It is guaranteed. I bet you the add-ons are like show up for training.
No, but I mean, they're not done yet. And Julian Timber, I saw...
Eat in your lunch.
38 million.
5 million.
38 million package pounds. You must be over the moon, man.
Dude, I haven't seen Arsenal move like this. And I'm not gonna give you a date. I'm just gonna say I haven't seen Arsenal move like this. I'm just gonna leave it there. Because Arsenal have always been a team that low balls. Arsenal always been, let's get our second or third choice. Now Arsenal are moving and knocking on the doors of their first choice players and getting them. And I think teams like, look, Liverpool are looking at looking at Lavia, but now they're thinking
first choice wasn't Declan Rice, was it? It was Mason Mount before he rejected you guys. But yeah.
Yeah, we wanted Mount. Yeah. We just wanted Mount. No. What we needed was a tax write-off. So you guys got Mount, we got Kai Havertz. It's just deadwood, you know. We needed that for the fireplace. Anyway, I look at the move that we made for Declan Rice. A great move, a great deal, record-breaking, whatever. But I look at Lavia as well, and I think other teams that are in for Lavia in Chelsea and Liverpool are looking at Arsenal thinking, if we don't move quick and they come in, it's highly likely that they're going to get the ball rolling and we could miss out on him. Now, Chelsea have got Caicedo to get over the line. And now they're looking at Lavia as well. Liverpool are trying to sell. So, I don't know. I think if Arsenal get serious, and they are serious, they could get this deal done and dusted nice and quick. But I think Lavia might not be the number one signing that Arteta's looking for. I just don't believe so because the way he's moved is just, yeah.
Do you know the only thing I think that swings in our favour? If you don't come in, he might think, I'm going to go straight in that Liverpool team, whereas Arsenal, he's not going straight into that team. He's going to just become added to depth. Do you know what I mean? He's not going in there displacing a Rice or a Partey. Do you know what I mean? So that might be within his thinking as well.
That's if Partey stays.
650 views here. I don't know how many likes, but I'm imagining at least 400 likes. I don't have the likes in front of me, but I'm really hoping it's 400 likes because that's the minimum here for this stream. Free content,
what if it's not?
Like looks like this, it's free. I'll be disappointed a little bit in my holiday. I won't take my wife to dinner today if you don't get 400
So you're going to starve your missus because there's no likes. Oh my days! I hope she's not. You're gonna get hammered. You're gonna get slapped. You know you're gonna get hurt.
They just went up by like 20. Keep smashing that like button.
And also, I know some of you are not subscribed. I can see in seeing figures as well. There's like everyone that watches the video, there's at least 47% that haven't subscribed. as well. We're 43 off 11.5k, by the way, and it's not even the first week of June gone by like yet. So if you want to be that guy that enjoys the content that we put out every single day, twice a day, maybe more. Actually, no, there will be more at some point. Then yeah, make sure you subscribe as well, man. Big up to everyone that has, and then big up all the new comments. I see a lot of new names. Flo, Saint Cyr as well. I ain't seen them before. Who else is there as well, man? There's a few other guys. Yeah, man. Let's keep it moving. But yeah, other than that, back to the Rice stuff, man. Go on, carry on. I was gonna ask you. Actually, I was gonna ask. Can
I say something about Declan Rice? You know, when that deal happened and said, "Here we go," and everything is done now. Now this is Arsenal proving to the people that we're serious. We want to do the job. We want to get it done. And I think this is just a sign that Arsenal are actually moving really well. And I think it's now in their hands. Timber as well. I think it's a great signing. I don't rate Havertz, but I'll just give it time since Arteta wanted him. But I think that them finalizing Declan Rice and getting Timber over the line is a sign that these people, they want to win something. They want to move to the new phase or whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you happy. But I think every one of us that doubted that Arsenal will do the business, they're doing it and proving us wrong, because I doubted they're managing to get everything over the line.
I think your sentiments are the same as most Gooners out there. No Gooner would have thought to themselves that this season, this transfer window, that we would kick off so early and kick off early but serious. Number one targets, get them in. Number one target, get in. That's not what we do. In the past, it's never been what we've done. And most Gooners would have also said, we just want the right players. We want to go out there and make the big moves. And now that we are, I think you're going to kind of get behind go with it. You know, this is what you've wanted. You wanted to challenge. There was plenty of excuses. Why can't we challenge? I just want to challenge for the title. So you've challenged for the title, and now you're moping. Now that you guys have got some sort of, some backing from your owners, you're getting the players that you kind of really do need in the squad. You need to be not excited, but you got to kind of see that there is some sort of momentum and go with it. It's not always doom and gloom. Look for the negative, for the sheer fact of looking for the negative when there is some kind of positive. You don't have to be ultra positive, but come on.
Does Arteta need to deliver them?
But there's only positives here. There is no negatives in this market for Arsenal now. Even Kai Havertz, you overpaid a little bit, but your manager wanted him. I'm not going to just sit here and think that he has a plan, I'm sure, for Havertz. And if Havertz comes into Arsenal as a bench player or a rotational player, that means you're moving to the next level. Because Cass always says to me, why only Man City are allowed to sign big players as rotation, as someone in the squad? And if he doesn't start every game, I think it's positive sign. It isn't negative, by the way. That means you trust your squad and you want to spend 65 million on someone to get minutes off the bench and help you win the games. This is a positive thing. People will think about it as, no, why did you spend 65 million for someone who warms the bench? I'm like, no, it's actually a positive thing. That means your starting 11 are good enough, trusted by your manager to do the job. And if they don't, you have someone for 65 million off the bench. Only big clubs do that. Only big clubs.
All right, let me ask you.
I have to agree with you.
Let me ask you a question. So if he doesn't win anything this season, then what? So does he need to deliver?
He fails. He needs to do the bare minimum. And I was saying it on my channel earlier. The question came up. It's like, what are your expectations? We need to challenge again. We need to challenge. We need to push City all the way. But that's if we get our targets. So again, this season with the targets that he's, the next midfielder, whatever he gets his players, a complete squad needs to challenge for the title again. But it's not just challenge. I want an FA Cup bare minimum, and that's scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I'm not FA Cup, so please don't take it that way in the chat that I think the FA Cup is a joke. I'm not, but I'm saying the bare minimum he can achieve is to push Man City all the way to the end, and hopefully challenge for the title and win the FA Cup. If he doesn't do that, then it's a massive investment. It's great going forward. A lot of things have happened behind closed doors and yada yada yada. But now it's time to put up. You know what I mean? Now you got to show us what you're capable of. And
let me give you a target. Champions League quarterfinal at least.
Yes.
That's about to say.
At least 85 points plus in the league. At least 85 points plus in the league. One of the cups finalists. If you lose it on penalties, I don't count it as a loss because it's just penalties are penalties, you know.
Okay. Because Ramsdale can't save the penalty to save his life. Okay. Well, I'd have to agree. Let's be honest. Ramsdale can't save penalties. I've got a better chance of saving a penalty.
Yeah, but if you go out of the Champions League for Sporting Lisbon, or you go out in the Champions League for Sevilla or something in that around the 16, I'll call that a failure. If you get fourth with like 70 points or 75 points after all these signings, that's failure for me.
Yep.
You'll need to go to 85 points plus now. There's no excuse now.
Wait, how much did you get last year? Point.
Last season, what we were five off Manchester City's total. I'm pretty sure that was the gap, wasn't it? 5 points.
Yeah, it was.
They got 86, but every team that gets 85 ROMs, I think that's in a league a success because we won't see 3 teams getting 95 points. That can't happen mathematically.
Can't happen.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but if they get 85, 87, 89 points and they don't win the league because Man City or whoever gets like 95 points, can you call that a failure for real? Can you say that that's a failure for them?
No, I would agree with you. I'd say that's a serious challenge. And you alluded to what I was saying. I think Osaguna's spot on. For me, Arsenal have to win. I think it's the bare minimum. You have to win something next year, whether it's a Carabao or a FA Cup. I know some fans won't like to hear that. In terms of the 2 big boys, Prem and Champions League, I do agree with Mo. It's gonna have to be 85. I wasn't really thinking more the points region. I was just thinking maybe you need to just go to the wire. You need to be in with a shout the last day. It needs to be mathematically possible for you to win the Prem on the last day. And for me, Champions League, like Mo said, minimum quarterfinals. If you meet a Real Madrid or a Bayern last 16 and you get knocked out, then you can't call that a failure. They're just bigger and they're more heritage, all that stuff. But like he said, if it's to a team you should be knocking out and they knock you out the last 16, that's a failure. And I think most of your fans will agree with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you Amin or Salmanamin. I don't know how to say your name properly. I'm sorry, I apologize. It says if Mount was a Brighton player, he would be cheaper. Now this is what I was going to allude to. I'm sorry, guys. My squad.
Salman Amin.
There you go. Salman Amin. So let's go from there. So we're talking about squads. What else does Man United need other than like what can they do with? Because now they're linked. I just seen something from the Gazzetta. I don't how reliable the Gazzetta though, Mo? Because they reported the Onana bid last week, the verbal one.
They are the big 3. They call them big 3 in Italy: Corriere dello Sport, La Gazzetta dello Sport, Tutto dello Sport. That cover.
Are they reliable?
They are very reliable. Normally, they are like very reliable in Italy.
Okay, so they said here, Man United have already reached an agreement with Sofian Amrabat's entourage, but not have yet made an offer to Fiorentina. So there's been talks of his camp. Then is Amrabat and Mount plus Onana, which we're going to talk about because he had the bid. Is that and a striker? Is that enough for Man United for next season?
No. Hold on. You said something at the end that changes the equation. You said and a striker.
Yeah, a decent enough striker.
What's decent?
Is that enough for Man
Absolutely
United?
changes everything. Changes everything.
What's
everything?
We say decent. What do we say decent there? But when we say decent, what can you give me an example of decent?
Someone that isn't vehicles can bury some goals that could have got you above Arsenal in terms of points.
He needs more of like a Hoyland, Colomwani ilk type of 9. That's what I think Kaz means. Because let's be honest, they don't have money for
10 plus 15 plus goals. 10 plus 15 plus goals.
So Mitrovic.
If we're going to go through transfer news, if we're going to go through transfer news as this is an update, Man United are allegedly still talking to Hoyland's camp and Atalanta about price before they submit a fee. That's what we know today. Today, we know what I just said about Amrabat, which is in talks as well. And then we know that Man United had a 39 million package bid rejected from Inter Milan as they want something closer to 50 million. Actually, no, they said 50 million euros, to be fair. But I think they mean pounds. I think you want a 50 million pound package because they, you know what it is?
Yeah.
What I don't like with Fabrizio, he says, yes, the 39 million pounds has been rejected, but then, you know, they want 50, 60 million euros or something along them lines. And I'm thinking like, bro, why have you switched from euros to pounds in one tweet? Like, what are you doing?
You want to get the gloves on. You want to get in the ring with him, innit? That does not like this.
It's just annoying. It's just annoying because you have to figure out the figures in your head just automatically or go do your research. There's a 10 million difference, 10 million pound difference. Is Man United if Man United get Onana, let's say for about 44 million in a package, 45 million in a package, have they done one over on Inter Milan?
I'll not ask Modis. As an Inter fan, do you
So-
think he goes to United when it's all said and by when the season starts? Do you think he end up a United player?
Yes, but there is a bigger offer from Saudi Arabia, which is I think 60 million euros. He doesn't
Wow.
want to go. He prefers Man United than Eric Ten Hag. But what I know, and I asked someone in Italy, a journalist, and they told me that
Ben
Onana
Jacobs version, yeah.
is happy at Inter. But he wouldn't mind going working under Ten Hag. Like he actually would love to go
And he
work
wouldn't
under
mind
Ten Hag,
doubling his
but
salary
he
as well.
wouldn't be mad. He's not pushing the move. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like he's not pushing for a move, but he wouldn't mind leaving.
Well,
The
Fabrizio said
problem
he's
now is
keen on
that
the move.
Inter doesn't have to accept Man United offer. They can
Please.
say, but Saudi Arabia are offering 60 million euros. Why don't you offer the same?
Well, that could be a bluff.
It can be, but we know that the Saudi, mostly the Saudi offers are kind of real. You know what I'm talking about. Again, he's another African guy, big fan base in Africa and West Africa.
So he's rejected the Saudi move for United. So he's going to United. Let's just put it that. We're about to double his wage as well. You don't want to go there. If you don't want to go there, you can't force him to go.
What's
You know?
going on with De Gea? What's going on
So
with
it
De Gea?
sounds
I
like-
know he's a
it sounds
free
like-
agent.
Yeah, what are you doing with the hair?
It
You're just
actually
putting him in a
happened
closet?
The same
Yeah.
was
He's not in our closet no more. Don't employ him.
Oh, that just go cold. It's just so
After
cold,
everything
eh?
he's
It's like
done for
the
you,
same
how
happened
he
all the
with
laughs.
Brozovic. Brozovic didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. I know I'm cutting out. Brozovic didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He wanted to go to Barcelona, but at the end, Barcelona didn't offer any money, and at the end, he ended up at Saudi Arabia. Now, the Saudi Arabia money can turn anyone's head. That's what I'm thinking.
Facts.
Yeah.
Maybe.
money
But then
talks, man.
why did it get rejected then?
But I don't want to see him in Saudi Arabia. If Onana is to leave Inter, I want to see him playing in the Premier League because I want to watch the guy every day. You know what? I
So
want to
is-
watch the guy week in, week
so
out. I want to watch the
Man
guy.
United- If Man United
Well,
get
you turn
these,
into a Man U fan.
if Man United get these
You agree
four,
with that?
is it enough
It's absolutely enough for you.
to
I
get
think
what?
he's trying
Absolutely
to
enough for you
get
to
them
do what?
for-
It's good.
To do what? So what do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely enough for you to do what?
Exactly. That's what I'm asking you. Is it enough?
The challenge still about March, then
I
Arsenal
think it's enough for you to be on par with Arsenal
on par.
and Liverpool. On par with Arsenal and Liverpool. Not Man City, on par. The reason why I'm saying that, and I'm going to repeat myself again, Man United at home, they were second last year. These are facts.
Yeah.
Away from home, they did not impose the game they want to play. It doesn't matter if the game you want to play on a counter or imposing your ball position. But they didn't have the ball in the areas they want. With Onana, Mason Mount, Amrabat off the bench or starting, and a striker, they can actually, Ten Hag can work with these guys to make something happen away from home. And I'm saying that these four players will add at least 9 to 12 points to Man United point tally, which was 76, if I'm not mistaken, or 75. That gives them to 85 points. So that's on par. That's what I think can happen. Because Man United, at the end, they won at home against most big teams, even Man City. They lost away from home. So even if that still happens this season, but they still win the away games that they lost against the other teams, they get 9 more points. I know that's very mathematical, but every time you watch Man United, they miss a lot of chances. And I keep saying this, repeat myself, their XG isn't bad. They just miss these chances. That's the fact.
I think we're missing one crucial part here as well, where I say, look, if they get all four of those players that they're allegedly going to get, right, when with one of them being it, I think it's a 7 out of 10 window for the current situation, current budget, and all this kind of stuff. I want to see who gets shifted. Alanga just needs to boot anyways, and I think he's going to. I think he's going somewhere in Turkey. He's garbage.
He's good.
What last one I need to think of is Maguire, where he's going to end up, because I don't think I can have another season. He gives me as much, you know.
Is anyone in for him? Is anyone actually in for him?
I'm not too sure just yet, but I think Man United need another centre back, and I think they need another not right centre back. They need another left centre back potentially. But I can see them using Luke Shaw there when need be. But then you're light, so it makes me think: where does Lindelof play? Is he gonna go right centre back?
Not really. You got Malacia now, or did you just not really?
Malassia's playing left back, but
yeah. Where's your knowledge?
I mean, after short, because he was saying on a left back position, you might be a bit light.
Then you're light on left backs.
Then you're light. That's right. Then he's light on left backs. Yeah.
If Ryan gets injured,
Yeah.
You'd be short. You'd be short.
Left foot. Man United need a left-footed centre back. Another one. You know, someone.
Are you happy going into the season with Delo and Bissaka? Are you happy in that regard?
Yeah, man. The fullbacks can. I think the fullbacks can wait another season to be assessed.
Bissaka improved last season a bit.
How Malassia wants to, because Malassia started sick in the season. Yeah, like he was locking up wingers and everything. And towards again further down the line, he was just getting stripped. But I like his mentality. His tenacity is good. Like he doesn't let his head fall for too long.
Big up God the King. Please sell Maguire.
Maguire, yeah, bro. Me and you read the same tweet from God the King. Big up. Please sell Maguire to Spurs. You know what?
Dyer
10 million
out
in a case.
Dyer out. Maguire in.
I don't think Tottenham are targeting him. I think now after the deal's done, I see him going to West Ham to replace like Onana or something like that. I think that would be the case.
They might not be targeting him, but if you drove a bus down there with Harry Maguire, dropped him off at the front of the stadium and just left him there for a couple of days, they'd notice him. Yeah, I mean, bro. Yeah. Wait a minute. You play football? Yeah. All right.
All I know, yeah.
I think it's Tapsoba and Van der Ven that they've pretty much got over the line. So they probably won't. We can dream, but
I think that I saw that only trying to acquire just one.
Oh, it's not Tapsoba anymore. I thought they had
it's just one of them.
Oh. And it's still possible.
And they're still trying. I think Barcelona and Tottenham are trying to still work out the Lengley stuff.
And Kaz, this is another thing. Not what you would have said. Well, not what you would have accepted, but what would United accept for Maguire? Like what fee?
No, we all know that they want around the regions of 40 million, but I reckon if something came in between 30 million and adults, I think that could be it. I think 30 million. I would accept. I would release him. But
I know. That's why I didn't ask what you would want, because I know what you would.
I think because of the wages, they can't demand 40. I think it'd be around 30 million and then some sort of.
What's the wages?
He's on like 180, 200k a week.
Wow. Yeah, it's
and you got to recognize his age is like 28, 29 now. So the Maguire stuff.
So he should be peaking as a defender. He should be literally peaking as a defender, and he's.
Did you say 180k? 180k.
Wait,
wow.
Flipping hell.
Hit 44 says, you think Man U can last with lack of goals and depth? Champions League football will test the whole squad. Rotation will be key for all of our clubs. But that's what we're talking about. Is it enough? Like the 4 or 5 players that they can potentially get in. I think 4 players will happen. But it's that defending part. We're not going to get defender until Maguire goes. I think he does end up going to West Ham though. I'll be so honest. I can see it being along the lines of 30 million and whatever else. And you just got to take it. You got to take it around. Go get me Gonzalo and Nasso, please. Please. I'm begging, man. All I know, Champions League Varane and Champions League Casemiro are back in play. So you want to talk about winners? We got winners.
You know, with Varane, if he stays fit, you guys are going to do some business because he's a quality centre back. It's about his fitness.
No, it's not even about his fitness. It's about can he play 2 games a week without getting injured?
That's what I mean. If he doesn't get injured, he'd be great. If he can stay fit enough to play 2 games a week, you'd be laughing because he's a quality defender.
90 minutes a game, but no, I understand that. I think Lindelof might be trusted to play a lot more games this season, but Lindelof's progressive passing was the best. Well, other than John Stones, was one of the best. He was in his own margin brackets.
I've always said, I think some United fans are harsh on him. I think you know what it is with Lindelof?
It's the way he backs off, and I hate it. He does what Van
Dijk.
Yeah.
He doesn't really commit.
Yeah, he don't commit, and that's what annoys me. But at the end of last season, like the 10, 12, 15 games that he did play, he was wicked. He was really wicked. But it depends on the way. I think he will benefit of the way Onana will pick up the ball, the low getting a bit further forward. We'll have to see, man. I need a Nasso in my team. I just need a backup left centre back that I can trust. But the thing is, it's like
Isn't he going to Liverpool? Am I mistaken?
It's just linked.
It's just linked. There's nothing concrete at the moment.
Yeah. I can't see much else going along the lines. I'm just trying to think of other centre back targets. The only centre back target I've seen for Man United was Kim Min-jae, who ended up going to Bayern Munich. Because
what a loss! What an absolutely idiotic
United couldn't
move by
shift
Man
Maguire in
United
time.
management.
couldn't shift
I
Maguire.
I was gonna say Cole will, but neither our clubs will probably pay what Chelsea want.
The last one that was on the list is the Axel Disasi, which I do like, by the way. I think he's a brute.
I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna lie.
One he plays for Monaco, and I like and we look. Is it Todabo or Tobido, whatever his name is, from Nice? So we've got two links from players in the French league. Different type of players. Other than that, I don't even know what else. Oh yeah, Christian Pulisic potentially going to AC Milan for 20 million. AC Milan seem to like Chelsea and their players.
But you know what? They have to sign a player like that because they've just sold. They gave him Brahim Diaz back to Real Madrid, haven't they? So I think they're looking for
right winger.
Yeah.
I think it could be a good signing, but that's only if he can stay fit. But it's good for Chelsea. They shifted another 20 million.
Were they looking at Hudson-Odoi as well? You were saying yesterday.
Hudson-Odoi's got 1 year left on his contract. They might even terminate it on a mutual agreement just to get his wages off the books.
Oh man,
he's on the mad wages, isn't it? I remember there was outrage when he signed the deal.
Yeah, I agree, man. But yeah, Chelsea, Moises Caicedo, recycled news as well. It's everything that we was explaining. Was it like yesterday or the day before? It's the same thing.
Every day.
Every day. It's taking a long time to get over the line. I do wonder what's taking so long. Maybe it's the fee. It has to be the fee, right?
Valuation. It's got to be the valuation. Brighton are trying to play hardball. They know they can. They know they don't have to sell. They're trying to get as much as they can possibly get. They want to rebuild their midfield, and they're thinking Chelsea got the cash. If they want him, come get him. And they know that Arsenal have been lurking in the background. So in the back of their mind, it's like, well, if you don't get him, maybe Arsenal will. So Brighton are in a strong position, and they always have been when it comes to selling players. Brighton know how to move players.
You know what's going to be interesting? Yeah, just a quick part before we go as well. Like, I was deep in it. The players that Tottenham have got in their midfield right now, they could potentially like have one of the best in the league, aesthetically, anyways. Asuma, press resistant. Bentancur, press resistant. Ndombele, press resistant. And can he stay fit? Can he stay fit? Because Angie wants to work with him. Press resistant. He has got feet. When he's played, he looked untouchable. But when he looks mudded, he's mudded. But then they got James Maddison, press resistant. How are you getting the ball? And off the ball, Bentancur and Basuma is enough.
Bentancur doesn't come back till January, though, innit? I think.
Yeah.
No.
It's a long time. I thought it was earlier, but I think Patrick was telling me it's not until January.
Yeah. So
they got Højbjerg too, haven't they?
The thing is, Tottenham are looking at another centre mid as well, though. That's the crazy thing. They're going to keep
another centre mid.
Well, yeah, because they're lacking, because they're looking at getting rid of Ollie Skip, aren't they? So if Ollie Skips, if something comes in, then they're going to go get another centre mid. I know they're looking.
So they want to go for another centre mid instead of another centre back. So one centre back and another centre mid instead of two centre backs.
I think the way it's going to go, if one leaves, they bring one in. That's the way it works. I think that's what I
saw. Langley is signing for them. Aussie Langley is signing for them.
He's signing for them. So that okay, cool.
That's what Barcelona in Spain. I think he's gonna go there.
I'm just saying, Tottenham, I'll just like I get it. We're kind of harsh on them, and I like being harsh because it's funny. But I credit them as well at the same time. Like, because I just think one game a week. I think my hot take yesterday, Aussie, was I think they could definitely win a domestic trophy, not the Premier League, just one of the domestic cups. I think they can go all the way at least. If they build the squad they currently are, and they're looking at more. That's the thing, they're looking at more. And I'm thinking, yes, it might take time to gel, but look at Erik ten Hag with what he came in and done it. And I know it's Erik ten Hag, I know it's Man United, they got better players, but I think they keep Kane. And I think that's the massive benefit of it all. It will just be like, it's kind of like written in the stars. Harry Kane leaves. Don't think he goes to Bayern, by the way. The send-off is a Carabao Cup, maybe. And it's like, yeah, you know what? This is written.
They need to win something, man. This team has been friggin', has been dragged through the mud for years. And they need to win at least one trophy. Look, I think Ange Postecoglou, great manager. I think he's got his work cut out for him. Remember, Mourinho and Conte were there previously. These guys are wonderful managers. They struggled. So if Ange can come in and do the...
Can you not compare the same situation, though, to Man United? Like, along the lines, look, they brought in Louis van Gaal, proven winner, dinosaur of the game. Didn't work out, demanded a lot as well. Then they brought in Jose Mourinho. Yes, he won a couple bits and bobs, like the Europa League and the Carabao Cup and that. Proven winner. But at the end, it was self-destructive, right? And I know maybe everything at Tottenham's a little bit. It's probably a little bit more. I don't know. It's garbage like Man United. But then they brought in another winner, and it just didn't work. And then they let the thingy ride with Mason. What's his name? Ryan Mason. Like the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you do, it just doesn't work, right? And now they got someone it's more low profile. Yes, he's like 5th on their list or whatever it might be, but he's got no pressure on him this time around. There's no pressure on Tottenham. I think this time they're allowed to give them time to do what you want to do. That's why I say it's a little bit of a dark horse in the situation itself. As much as it's funny to laugh at Spurs, because that's what we all used to, is laughing at Spurs, right? I'm just saying there's no pressure on a guy, and he plays good football, and I think he'll win over fans in long term, because it's a project there. He's allowed to build. He's allowed to fail. And
some of the Spurs fans I speak to, as much as they want a trophy, they just want an attractive brand of football as well, which I think he will bring. And you can see the type of players he's brought in. That's what he's trying to implement. But I agree with you. I think Spurs and Chelsea, people have to just watch out for, because that one game a week, all that time to prepare, they could do something. But the both of them, me more for Chelsea because of just quality standing, because they've just got more quality than Spurs. I think they're going to keep Kepa though, and that for me that does scream alarm bells, because I don't rate him the highest, and I think they will concede. But Chelsea and Spurs, you've got to keep an eye on, especially Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. Last couple super chats as well. If you want to get in your last questions or super chats, make sure you do so now before we end the stream. Hit 44 says we will sell Lukonga to Spurs for $100 million next Vieira. So who said that? That was Sharky that said that, right? The next Vieira or something along them lines. Crazy talk.
Look, I'm happy to accept 50 million in installments. Okay.
I think it was Vincent Kompany. He said, he could be the next Vieira. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's mental. And the last one here says about Caicedo, it's agreed on 75 plus 10. Are you an ITK? DK vibes? But negotiation going on for the structure of the payment. Saw news from Chelsea related reliable counts. Oh, fair enough then. And he says not sure. Yeah, I think it's going to get done. That deal is going to get done. Nobody else is chasing him. They're too far away in this situation.
He wants Chelsea too.
Yeah, he does. Of course he does. He needs to feed his family. Make sure you subscribe to the Aussie Gooner here. You can see it in the pinned as well. I think you're nearly on 500 subscribers. If you're an Arsenal fan, you like the way he talks, maybe even just a mutual fan to it all, make sure you go subscribe there, man. Go get his subscribers up. Make sure you watch his content. And he's got some wicked thumbnails as well to watch. So appear nicely on the screen. Big up everyone that's joined. Big up Roms. Big up Aussie. Big up Mo. Got anything else to say? Oh, yeah. By the way, we're like 33 subscribers, 11,500. So if you haven't done so, what are you doing?
Subscribe. Make burners. Just make burners. Just subscribe.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that, please.
Up, down.
What's wrong with you?
You want to play with the boys' emotions big time, huh?
Yeah,
and he's out. See what happens when you talk some crap? You get booted.
What he needs to do, this time, you got to go wash your mouth. That's what he's got to do. Go wash your mouth with soap, Roms, man. Learn your lesson.
And he's back.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, man, everyone, smash the like if you haven't done so yet. We'll be back later tonight at 10. Not sure who with at this point. Or do I? Who knows?